A tale of two leaders, two worlds, and billions of dollars. Once upon a time, in the whirlwind theater of global politics, two men stood on opposite sides of ideology, temperament, and power. But somehow, they kept crossing paths. One, born into the glittering towers of Manhattan, a billionaire mogul whose name was plastered on golden skyscrapers across the globe. The other, born into a dynasty of secrecy and supreme control, presiding over one of the most isolated and enigmatic nations on Earth. Donald J. Trump and Kim Jong-un, men who have dominated headlines, clashed in threats, then shook hands across the DMZ. Yet beneath the surface of diplomacy and nuclear tension lies another question that fuels endless speculation. Who is richer? Let's step into the vaults of gold, secrets, and power as we unravel the tale of two leaders, not just in geopolitics, in the race for unimaginable wealth. The inheritance of empires. Donald Trump, born in 1946 in Queens, New York, was the son of Fred Trump, a wealthy real estate developer. By the time Donald was old enough to sign business papers, his father had built a portfolio worth hundreds of millions. Trump claimed he received a small loan of $1 million from his father to launch his empire. In reality, investigations suggest Fred Trump funneled over $400 million in various forms to Donald throughout his life. Trump used this fortune to build a brand, hotels, casinos, golf courses, reality TV shows, books, then, in 2016, the White House. Kim Jong-un, on the other hand, was born into something far more secretive, yet arguably more absolute. His grandfather, Kim Il-sung, founded North Korea and ruled it with an iron fist. His father, Kim Jong-il, continued the dynasty, amassing enormous wealth even as his people faced famine. By the time Kim Jong-un assumed power in 2011, the Kim family already controlled the entire state apparatus, and with it, North Korea's shadowy finances. Inheritances, yes, but in wildly different currencies, one in stock portfolios and property, the other in state secrets and illicit empires. The transparent tycoon. Donald Trump's wealth has been a topic of obsession for decades. According to Forbes, his net worth peaked at around $4.5 billion. That number has fluctuated due to market changes, debt, lawsuits, and most recently, his social media company Truth Social's stock performance. During his presidency, Trump claimed to have lost billions in potential deals, even as critics accused him of profiting from political connections. His assets include Trump Tower and other properties in New York, luxury golf courses in Scotland, Ireland, and the US, Mar-a-Lago, his private club in Florida, Trump National Doral, a sprawling resort, a significant stake in Trump Media and Technology Group. Despite years of secrecy around his tax returns, the truth is clear now. Trump is rich, very rich, but not as rich as he often claimed. Still, he lives with the confidence of a man who's used to velvet ropes, private jets, and diamond-studded cufflinks. The secretive supreme leader. But what about Kim Jong-un? That's where the story gets complicated. Kim's net worth is estimated by some analysts to be between $5 billion and $15 billion, though exact figures are impossible to verify. Why? Because North Korea operates in a realm of shadows. What we do know is this. The Kim family has a network of slush funds and offshore accounts under the regime's control. The ruling elite have access to luxury goods smuggled in despite international sanctions. Kim owns multiple palaces and private estates, reportedly more than 15 across North Korea. He has a personal train, a fleet of Mercedes-Benz limousines, and even a private island. South Korean intelligence reports that he regularly imports caviar, champagne, and Swiss watches worth millions. While the average North Korean citizen survives on less than $2 a day, Kim lives in near-mythical opulence. Unlike Trump, Kim's wealth isn't tied to the stock market. It's tied to the absolute power he wields over his nation's entire economy. The battle of the billionaires. If this were a simple numbers game, the crown of wealth might lean toward Kim Jong-un. if his secret assets reach the higher estimates. But there's a caveat. Trump's wealth is transparent and tied to real markets, while Kim's is covert and dependent on dictatorship. Trump can liquidate assets, sign deals, or appear on camera and influence markets. Kim, on the other hand, holds wealth that is unrealizable in global markets. His billions cannot easily leave North Korea. He can't sell a palace. He can't IPO a nuclear program. His wealth is real, but it's also locked in a prison of his own making. Power versus possessions. There's another lens to this story. What is wealth, really? For Trump, wealth is a brand, a negotiation, an empire of visibility. He thrives on attention and expansion. For Kim, wealth is invisibility, control, and the ability to snap his fingers and change lives across an entire country. Trump buys buildings. Kim controls borders. Trump dines in New York's finest steakhouses. Kim has chefs flown in from Japan, Switzerland, and even Europe to recreate delicacies. Trump throws rallies. Kim stages mass games with 100,000 synchronized performers. Their wealth manifests in vastly different ways, but both are unmistakably powerful symbols of privilege, global reputation, and impact. Interestingly, Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un have met in person in Singapore 2018 and in Vietnam 2019. It was historic. Two men, one from the world's most open economy, the other from the most secretive regime, sat at the same table. But even in those moments of diplomacy, one couldn't help but wonder, which man held more wealth? More leverage? More legacy? Trump boasted. Kim smiled. The world watched. And the debate raged on. The verdict? So, who is richer? In hard legal currency, Donald Trump likely takes the lead. His assets are tangible, documented, and tradable. He has international business holdings, trademarks, media exposure, and banks that back his empire, even with its flaws. But in raw, unfiltered power and opulent control, Kim Jong-un's unchallenged reign over North Korea gives him a wealth that's nearly feudal in nature. He doesn't need investors. He doesn't answer to courts. He is, quite literally, the law. The truth? They are both rich, just in wildly different currencies. Two billionaires, one stage. In the end, Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un are mirror opposites. One markets himself to the world, the other hides from it. One trades in stocks, the other in silence. Yet both live lives 99.99% of us can only imagine. They have jets, guards, palaces, chefs, and armies of people who answer to their whims. Whether counted in gold, influence, or sheer spectacle, both men are undeniably wealthy. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real answer. They're not rich because of what they have. They're rich because the world keeps watching, wondering, and talking. Even now.